Haven't talked to you in a while. PFL playoff questions, PFL business questions. What's on your mind?
Go ahead. Dom, you got Africa represented here tonight. We had the press conferences there that were blowing up. What's been the overall feeling from everyone involved in the organization, getting those shows going and getting that rocket real quick in Africa?
We're very proud of this PFL Africa experience, launch, development. We had over 400 credentialed press in Africa for a press conference. We haven't yet held an event. We haven't yet officially kicked off a schedule. Imagine the fan excitement when we do that. I think you saw tonight with the two African fighters what's possible. You've seen with the three kings what's possible on the highest level. So I just think we're very proud to engage a continent and give them maybe a second major sport. You've often heard me say China, India, Africa, they don't have a second favorite sport. And I think with PFL, we can grow and develop fighters, but we can also really engage and give fans a second favorite sport. And I think PFL Africa in April 2025 is going to be the one to watch.
You're well represented in the UK now. MENA's kicked off, Africa's coming. We know there's more expansion. How do you keep scaling and holding regular events with all of the regions kicking off over the next few years?
Well, as my 94-year-old dad says, every job is easy until it's yours. So obviously doing different continents require slightly different playbooks, but it's all built on the PFL infrastructure. So we do global brand, global technology, global expertise, but then we localize on top of that. We want the product and the experience to be theirs. It's PFL Europe's own league, PFL Mideast's own league, PFL Africa's own league. So we can only do it cost effectively, and we can only do it the highest quality by leveraging the global infrastructure, but we really need to localize, and we make sure we do that. And the success of the product will be the fans telling us we're doing that well. And we learn all the time. We're not perfect. But the success of the Mideast, we've grown from about 100,000 viewers of the global product in the Mideast to over 1 million viewers per event for PFL Mideast. Think how astounding that is. So obviously the PFL global product is technically superior fighters. A way more expensive fight card, but we're doing 10 times the amount of viewers because it's their league, their local heroes, their storylines, and we think that's what you're going to see, whether it's in Africa, Australia, or Latin America, where we go to next.
Can't wait, thank you.
When it comes to your talent acquisition, like you said, you're going local with it. Do you have scouts in these areas? What's the process when it comes to the talent acquisition?
Yeah, it's a great question. We do it three ways, two ways of which I'll tell you. Two ways we do it the same as UFC. We work with the fighters in terms of their managers, their agents, their camps, the same system that UFC does. Number two, we try to get inbound submissions, everything that you would do. You reach out and say, give me your best to all your network of intelligence. And number three, we have a proprietary database that's a little bit different than theirs and allows us to bring more technology to the system than they do. But the combination of those three, I think, will allow us to get the better fighters earlier. Perhaps in 3, 4, 5 years from now, I think the talent base will be dramatically lopsided in our favor. But importantly, when we go to these fighters, what we're hearing overwhelming, I want to fight for myself, and I want to go as far as I can go. Why did Baki, Doumbé, Paul Hughes, or Dakota come to PFL over UFC? We ain't paying them that much more money. It's they have the opportunity to win that PFL Europe Championship and then go to the PFL Global League. No one's holding them back. They're under nobody's thumb. So the meritocracy and the format is ultimately why we're winning more of these fighters, even though I think our technology and our scouting is a little bit superior.
Obviously, we had the big press conference yesterday, huge attendance, big numbers. There was a little bit of a controversy, but probably ultimately helped the attention. What did you make about it yesterday?
Yeah, to me, what I loved about the press conference is if you would have said 6 years ago that this company was 0 employees, 0 fighters, 0 viewers, and 0 social media followers was going to stage perhaps the most exciting and biggest MMA fight of the year, when you look at the men's card and the women's card as a co-main, you would have said you've lost your frickin' mind. That's what I couldn't get over yesterday. 6 years ago, it was 0, 0, 0, and 0. And Cyborg, Pacheco, and La Problemo and Francis, I think is the most exciting co-main in MMA this year. And that's all I could think about. That we are putting that on a global basis for fans. And I'm super proud of that. And that's a testament, I think, to what we're trying to do in this sport, is grow the sport, more opportunity for everybody.
Francis never lost his UFC title, and even now, with 2.5 years later, he's off to his watch and they're still not 100% sure who's the champion out there. Some people think maybe John Jones, after all the playing, but really, it seems like Ferreira, you won last year's championship, and Francis never lost his belt. As far as you're concerned, is this the heavyweight title?
You know, I think all the questions are interesting. It's oftentimes on the sports talk shows where they talk about who's the Mount Rushmore of basketball or who's the greatest quarterback. There's a lot of good answers to that question. I think what La Problema said yesterday is equally valid to what Francis said yesterday, which is either you could say this is the greatest heavyweight, who wins this, or you could say, I don't care, right? I think it's a great debate, and let fans decide that. But I think certainly they're in the conversation, and I think what you're seeing is currently 2 of the top 5 heavyweights in the world square off, the 2 most athletic square off, and 2 of the hardest hitting square off. So it's a fight nobody should miss, and let's see what the fans think.
Were you surprised that Dana didn't shut down the idea of maybe Kurt Galloway getting involved and making this John Jones fight happen after this?
We want to give the fans what they want, and maybe the fans will get what they want. Wouldn't that be great? Yes?
You put out obviously a roadmap in terms of the Champions League of MMA that you want to enroll in the last few years. Outside obviously the States, which nation, which league do you think is most successful outside of the US?
Right now, PFL Europe is clearly a big success for us. It was our first, and it's the only one that's truly fully operational for us, where we have, global product. We have some select events, with Bellator, and we have PFL Europe working. So what you really have is the global product and the local product, and they work together. And it creates network effects. Our brand there is almost as strong as UFC. It's not as strong as UFC in the United States. We have a long way to go. We know that we're still the underdog. We're still the new kid. We're still the disruptor. We have to earn a lot of fans. But Europe shows what's possible, because we're stronger in Europe than we are in the United States, because we have the global product and the local product really connecting together. And I think that's a roadmap for the future.
And because of that, do you think we'll see a super fight venue being held in Europe in the next couple of years?
I think certainly we'll do that. And I think there was a lot of discussion among us about what to do in 2025. You've got certainly Baki Doumbé, you've got Francis and his fan base in France. I think we're completely open, to how to build that market. But we're just super excited from where we were 2 years ago in Europe to where we are today, dramatically better, and dramatically close the gap in fans' mind. And that's what we're always trying to do. Try to get fans to say, watch this PFL product, see how good these fighters are, give us a chance. And when they do, they like it. Yes?
Give the PFL a chance. I think you guys, more than any other promotion, give worldwide opportunities. Can you talk about the pride you have in the international leagues, building the Champions League and the global season? You're giving launching pads for careers, but also a chance at $1 million, a chance to build their own platform. How much pride do you take in that?
Huge. What do you fight for is on the steps to the cage. Fighters are certainly fighting to advance their career and make more money and become a champion. But everybody's a fighter. I'm fighting to build this company. You're all fighting to become better reporters. We're all fighting to make our parents proud, to buy a house, to send our kids to college, maybe to have $1 million for retirement. We're all fighting for something. And so to me, that PFL can provide opportunity and you're not under somebody's thumb is a huge sense of pride. That we can give fans a choice, it's a huge sense of pride. That we can grow the sport is a huge sense of pride. So I really think that opportunity is core to what we're trying to do, and we feel great about it.
You mentioned globally your plans. Let's talk about the global season that we're here for, the playoffs. In 2025 and beyond, are there talks of opening up more divisions and adding more to the global season?
Look, it's a great question. More divisions in the global season is something we look at. We don't want to dilute the product. This year in 2024, everybody sees how much tougher the season is than last year once we acquired all the Bellator fighters. The statistic that is super interesting that doesn't get reported enough, of the top 300 fighters in the world, 190 are at UFC, 85 are at PFL. So 275 of the top 300 fighters in the world are at these two promotions. So to win 4 times in 8 months, that's the toughest test in MMA. And this year, that product is that good. Well, we don't want to add new weight classes unless the 10 fighters in that weight class can really be that good. So we're looking to add more all the time, but we don't want to just add a weight class that's not that strong. So we want to do it in the right way.
And unfortunately, we didn't get to see Hurricane Shane Burgos compete in the lightweight season this year, but one lightweight you did see was Matt Burnell. He's been on a tear this year, 2-fight win streak, and following his victory last week at PFL Hollywood, he called out Hurricane Shane. WWE asked him, it was an amazing call.
It was great.
They have both agreed verbally, of course, to fight each other. Is that a fight you're looking to book in the next few months or next year? Yeah,
I'll leave all the details of the booking to Ray and Mike and our team. We love Shane Burgos. And Shane wanted to take the year off to, 1, regroup personally, and 2, get better, training. We can't wait to have him back. So will Shane get a fight with PFL? Yes. Are we excited to have Shane back in one form or another, whether it's the season or a one-off champions product? 100%. So yes, we're going to do something. When and what? I'll leave it to the matchmakers to do that. Well, the good news is I've never given an answer, so I don't have a different answer than anybody. I know Ray and Pete have had a little different answer. I don't comment too much on individual fighter stuff, as you guys know. We don't have that weight class currently, and I won't comment beyond that, in terms of who we might sign, who we won't sign. I'll leave it to, our matchmaking team to make more comments on that if they want to in the future.
And then last one for me, this might be more of a matchmaking question too, but in terms of flyweight, bantamweight futures, do you plan on adding that eventually or soon?
Don't know. If we added anything in the season, it's got to have a lot of depth. If we add anything in a one-off format in the Champions Series, it's got to be top 5 fighters, or why do it? So that's all about what can we really achieve that's great, for fans and in the media market. That I don't know. So that's all this kind of stuff we not only do through the season, but really heavy starting in October.
Let's do one more question right here.
Hey, welcome back.
So great things with you and Jen, what do you guys think about?
One, I wished him good luck, coming up, as I've also wished Mike Tyson good luck. It's a fight that I want nobody to lose. They're both partners of ours, and they're both great people. And 2, we just talk business. As you know, Jake plays 2 roles with us that we really value. 1, advising us on business, and 2, as an MMA fighter down the line once he gets either becomes boxing champion or has a little free time in MMA. So we just talked some business and caught up. Yeah.
With the extension of PFL, you guys sponsored Bellator, and MMA becoming a household product. What are y'all thinking about as far as going forward? Benefits, as well as health insurance, and things for all fighters?
Look, it's a very good question. The thing, back to the question about pride, that we're most proud of is choice. Prior to PFL, there was really no legitimate choice. With Bellator in real bad shape, there was going to be no legitimate choice for all those fighters. So we've created now choice. For any of you who've had 2 job offers, that's like 10 times more than 1 job offer. For fighters right now, you've got a great choice. That's the best thing that we could do to the market, to create opportunity, to create economic flexibility, to create true advancement, is for us as a company to be viable, strong, and continue to get better and better. If there's 2 companies, that's 10 times better than 1 company in this segment, and that's what I try to do every day.